All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another day of Read Rich and Righteous Spiritual Secrets and Mastering Money Manifestation in Your Mind. I hope that you are well. Grand Rising, Rich Rising. So happy to be here. We are going to wrap up our section on the six forms of capital for creation today. This has been one of the longest sections in the book, but it's also one of the most powerful. We've gone over personal capital, intellectual capital, social capital, and today we're going over the last three forms of capital you have to be able to create your heaven here on earth. If you're just joining us for the first time, we are reading Rich and Righteous Spiritual Secrets, Mastering Money Manifestation in Your Mind. We've been doing this for about 2 months now, and it's been an absolute blessing. We read about three to five pages a day, and yeah, we built a community of over 600 people showing up at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. And so I'm just so grateful for you all trusting me. I'm so grateful for God using me in this way, not only to write this book, but then nudging me about 2 months ago in November, saying, Jullien, just go read your book out loud to the people. The reason why is because, the word recession kept coming up, right? Recession in the collective consciousness. But just because the collective consciousness believes in something doesn't mean that it has to be the truth for your reality. I quit my job January 9th, 2009 at the bottom of the last recession. And it's because of the money mindset that is in this book that I was able to navigate that and have been able to build my own wealth in addition to wealth for others through the multifamily movement. And so now my mission is to create the wealthiest family in the world. And I say that seriously. This is not just some nice vision. The wealthiest family in the world, which would be 100,000 people with $1 million net worth. That would leave us with $100 billion. That would make us the fifth wealthiest family right now. And so this is a 30 to 50 year vision. And rather than starting with teaching you an asset class like multifamily real estate, like stocks, right? I'm actually starting out with helping you recognize that the greatest asset is up here in your temple, right? That you are the greatest asset, right? And so we're starting with the mind first. Mindset has stopped millions from making millions. Mindset has stopped millions from making millions. And so I'm starting with the conscious and the subconscious mind. And once we get this soil up here, once this soil is fertile, then we know that any asset class, any divine download or seed that is planted into us has a great chance of producing at the highest level, producing 100-fold, right? So most people don't want to do this work because we're working in the invisible realm. We're working in the unseen. When we show up here at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're working on the unseen realm. But we know as above, so below, as within, so without. And so we're focused on ourselves first, right? We're doing this work that is within. And then what will happen is that we will start to see matching manifestations externally in our lives. And so this is why most people avoid this work, because it is the unseen. They'd rather go budget. They'd rather go create coupons, right? They'd rather go watch another YouTube video on how to buy an asset that is outside of themselves. But the reality is that you are the asset. Uh, See somebody on IG saying no sound. IG, are we good? Can you hear me? Can you hear me on IG? Come on, this morning. Okay, cool. So some people can hear and others can't. All right, that's fine. So today we are on page 257. We are on page 257. We are in the chapter on money commandment number 7, which is how the rich and righteous use money, right? How the rich and righteous use money. And if you do not have the book, you can go to moneyandmanifestation.com. Again, that's moneyandmanifestation.com. I pinned that on YouTube and I pinned that on Instagram. You can go get the book there. If you go to Amazon.com, it will be $100 for one book on Amazon.com. Okay, $100 for one book on Amazon.com. If you go to moneymanifestation.com, I will give you 5 copies of the book for $100. Okay, 5 copies of the book for $100. Why do I do that? Why? Because 1 is for you, 4 is for you to give to other people. The way to stimulate your personal economy is to give. The scripture says, as you give, so you shall receive. So the reason you aren't receiving what you desire from a monetary standpoint, because you're not giving enough. You haven't learned how to give sustainably at scale, right? Beyond just trading your time for money. That is the worst trade that you can make. That is the worst trade that you can make, is trading time for money. So we have to break free from that by learning how to make money through the power of our mind. Okay. We have to break free from trading our time and our body for money. Because why would you trade your time, which is limited, and your body, which has a limited time here on earth? Why would you trade a limited resource for an unlimited resource? Why would you trade a limited resource, which is your time and your body, right, for an unlimited resource? That makes no sense whatsoever. So we have to break free from the time for money trade, which is essentially the rat race, and start to learn how to make money with our mind. You don't go from $100,000 a year job to $1 million a year, right, by working 10 times harder. You're already working 60 hours a week. How do you work 600 hours? You can't. You can't. There's only 168 hours in a week. So how do you go from $100,000 a year to $1 million, which is 10x? How do you 10x that without 10xing the amount of time that you're actually working? The only way to do that is through your mind. And we see that with athletes, right? Some athletes for a 5-year, 10-year career, right? Most actually don't have any 10-year careers, but so let's just say a 5-year career, they make a ton of money trading their time for money, right? Using their body in many cases. This is why they're athletes and they're getting money. But those who actually, once they stop, because that's a short career, right? Once they stop, we've seen people like Shaq, we've seen people like Magic Johnson, right? We've even seen people like Michael Jordan make more money after retiring than they did while playing. Why? Because they use the power of their mind. They use the power of who they were and who they are in order to manifest. So they're no longer playing in the initial sport that actually got them their initial chunk of wealth. Their greatest chunk of wealth came after because they used the power of their mind and they also made their money work for them. All right. Whereas if you had somebody who's ends their sports career and they don't understand the power of their mind, then the money that they had in their sports career just goes down to zero because remember, their lifestyle went up. While they were 25 to 30, their lifestyle went up. And most people don't want to go down in lifestyle, even though their income has gone down. And so these people try to preserve their lifestyle and the money just chips away, right? So we have to learn how, in the same way, you might not make $1 million or millions of dollars a year like an athlete, right? But the same principle applies. We have to break free from the time for money trade, okay? So when you go to moneyandmanifestation.com, you get 5 copies of Rich and Righteous. You also get the Rituals Workbook, okay, which are all the exercises at the end of each chapter, and you also get the audiobook. It has been very beautiful to witness you all in the Facebook group. I don't know if you've seen the stories that are there, but people are literally giving away their extra copies of the book to each other. We created our own economy around this particular book. You realize, y'all, you want to know something crazy? I'm not going to do it. But you know something that's crazy? If I said I've stopped printing these books and I will never print any more copies of these books, you know what the value of your book would be? If I said I'm taking these books off of Amazon, I'm not printing any more copies, and now there's only, let's say, 10,000 copies in circulation, you know what the value of your book would become? We literally could create an economy with just this book alone. So this is powerful. And so in the Facebook group, people are literally giving away their extra copies. People who are genuinely asking from a place of need and not neediness. Need and not neediness are having books shipped to them. Surprises. Somebody posted yesterday that he asked 2 people for a book, right? And he didn't hear anything back, right? He had sent his address and he was starting to get discouraged. But then Spirit told him, be patient. Be patient. You want to know what happened? Both books arrived. Both books arrived. And now he who had no books and who had almost lost faith in himself and this process and the people who said they were going to ship him the books, guess what? Now he has 2 books, one for him, and now he can actually start to circulate. He can now give a book to somebody else. We are learning circulation within each other using the book. This is powerful. Those who need to learn how to give more are giving more. Those who need to learn how to receive are now receiving. And so now, once we take these muscles that we're developing, our giving muscle and our receiving muscle, and now we start to apply that to our gifts, talents, strengths, and skills, and we start to give and receive this, then we'll start to see that that's what circulation does. We're not here to accumulate money, we're here to circulate money. And so these powerful stories and manifestations are being shared in the Facebook group, and it's just so beautiful to witness. And so, really quickly, I want to put the Facebook group link in chat. It is facebook.com/groups, plural, /rich and righteous. It's facebook.com/groups, facebook.com/groups/rich and righteous. So I'm putting that in chat right now. So if you're on YouTube, you can open up a new tab in your browser and you can go request access to that group now so that you can see these stories and be a part of that experience. If you're on Instagram, I know you can't jump away, but if you have a computer near you, again, you're going to go to facebook.com/groups/rich and righteous. So just simply go to any song, excuse me, any group that you have, right? Go to any group that you have on Facebook, delete the ending, whether it's a number or a name, and then put rich and righteous. And from there, you will be good to go. All right. So with that, we're about to get started. We're about to get started with the reading. And yeah, so we're on page 257. I think we're going to finish. We're not even in February yet, y'all. We're going faster than I expected. When we initially started, I thought it was gonna take us till March. We're not even in February yet, and we're already on 257. So we only have 150 more pages left. So we're likely gonna finish mid-February. And so really quickly, when we finish, I know a lot of you were not here since the beginning. So when we finish, my spirit is telling me just start reading over again, because you can't just hear these things once, right? The subconscious mind is programmed by repetition. So my spirit is telling me when we get to the end, just start reading again. Just start reading again. Like, how many times do we have to till this soil to make it as fertile as possible? Do we just till it once and then just say, oh, it's good for the rest of my life? Or do we just start reading again? My spirit is telling me to start just reading again. I even contemplated, do we take a break? I contemplated, do we read another money mindset book? But right now, spirit is just telling me, just read it again and again and again. If I truly believe and know, not do I believe, I know that repetition is how we reprogram the subconscious mind, then why not just repeat the process? I know some of you came in at the midway point. Some of you came in at chapter 3. Some of you have been here since the beginning. Some of you weren't able to make it every single day. So right now, that seems like it's the game plan. All right, cool. There's something about this space, something about this vortex that we've created at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every weekday, that has been powerful. I've seen your post in the Facebook group. I've gotten your DMs about how powerful this space has been to you. I've seen multifamily movement members at Generational Wealth Conference tell me, like, Jullien, that the Rich and Righteous, Read Rich and Righteous has been groundbreaking for me, revolutionary for me. It's the perfect way to start my day. And so we're going to keep this portal that we're in. We're going to keep this vortex that we're in. We're going to keep it open. I'm not going to let this close, right? With the exception of travel and emergency situation, I intend to be here at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. That's my commitment. I have to demonstrate consistency for you, because consistency is a form of belief. And then we also know that repetition is what reprograms the subconscious mind. You know that as I read this, I'm continuing to reprogram my mind around money. As I read it to you out loud, you might see me pause every now and again and get out a pen and take a note, because I get a new divine download or a new aha about money. Remember, when I read this, I don't even, it doesn't even feel like I wrote this book. I know it came through me, but I was waking up at 3 a.m. and my fingers were just moving on the keys. So when I read this, I'm like, I wrote that? No, because the true author of this book is not me. The true author of this book is God. The true author of this book is God. This book came through me, but it did not come from me. This book came to me and through me, but it did not come from me. I'm not the source of this book. I'm not the source of the wisdom in this book. I pulled these divine downloads from on high, and then I anchored them in our physical material reality. I took them from heaven and I was able to bring them to earth. I'm not the true author of this book. I may have wrote the book, right? But it did not come from me. Remember, I always acknowledge what the source is. I am not the source. I'm not your source. I'm not my own source. I'm not the one that is causing me to breathe right now. I am not the one that is causing me to breathe right now. Whatever is breathing through us, that is the source. Whatever is breathing through us, that is the source. So when musicians go up there and they get their Grammy, right, and the first thing they think is what? God. Because we know that that song that has touched the world, it did not come from me. It came through me. So I always acknowledge my power supply. I always acknowledge where this came from. This is not about me. We can all be channels, mediums, and vessels for God to use. That is the goal. Be me, God. 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 I can already feel myself. If I said that 100 times, I would be in tears right now. That is the most powerful prayer in the world. Just be me, God. 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 Move me out the way. Move my ego out the way. Move my personality and persona out the way. And just be me, God. I am here. Use me. Be me, God. Be me, God. Be me, God. Be me. Be me. Be me. Use me for your will. Thy will be done. Not my will, but thy will be done. Be me, God. That is the divine call every single day. Some of the things that you're worried about, if you stand in that prayer, you realize you have nothing to worry about. If you just focus on getting back in alignment and allowing God to use you, you will have no worries. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all its righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. You would have nothing to worry about. This is a completely different way of moving through and navigating this earthly and physical realm. It is a completely different way. It is a paradigm shift. And if you read the Gospels, this is what Jesus in the Gospels was seeking to teach. Whether you believe Jesus is real, whether you believe Jesus is an allegory, the story in and of itself, right, is what was being taught, is that we have to move out of the way, that we know these bodies are temporary, right? But we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. But we have to remember who we are. We are not these bodies. Because if you were to say my hand or my body, who is possessing the hand? Who owns the hand? Who is using the hand? Who is using the body? You say my body. Who is the my? Like, that's my car. I own that car, right? I'm leasing that car. So who is the my? If you were your body, you would say, I am body. I am this. No, I'm not this. I am that I am. I transcend this body. And when this body arose, when this body is no longer useful, guess what? I will still be here. My vibration, my spirit will still be here. I just won't be here in the physical form. So we're trying to get back to who we truly are. We know that we are children of God. We know that we are spiritual beings. And because we are children of God, we know that abundance is our birthright. Time to start reading, y'all. 20 minutes in. Yo, when I'm in it, y'all. I'm just going with the flow. Okay. We're on page 257. We're on page 257. Okay. What's going on, Kazi? What's going on, Ra? All right. Number 4, financial capital. Who knows that you know what you know? Financial capital is who knows that you know what you know. Of course, your financial capital includes your own assets, such as your checking account, savings account, retirement accounts, stock accounts, real estate, and real estate. But the wealth you want isn't in your possession yet. Someone else has it. The wealth that you want is not in your possession yet. Someone else has it. Financial capital is who knows that you know what you know. I'm going to reread that. Who knows that you know what you know? This is a tricky one. Your financial capital grows at the intersection of your intellectual capital and your social capital. Your intellectual capital is what you know. Your social capital is who you know and who knows you, correct? Your intellectual capital is what you know. We talked about that already. Your social capital is who you know and who knows you. So guess where your financial capital grows, family? It grows at the intersection of your intellectual and social capital. The more people that know that you know something powerful, the more financial resources that will come your way. If you have huge intellectual capital in some skill or subject, but nobody knows it, then guess what? You get no financial reward from that. Or if you have a huge social network, but nobody knows how you can help them, you get no financial resource from that. Your financial capital grows at the intersection of your intellectual capital and your social capital. The more people that know that you know something that is valuable to them, the more financial abundance that comes into your life. Guess what, family? A lot of people know that I know a lot about multifamily real estate investing. So what happens for me? Financial capital comes my way. A lot of people know that I know a lot about how to reprogram your mind around money, right? So guess what happens for me? Financial capital comes my way. Are you understanding this? So financial capital is, don't just think about it, I want more money. What you need to do is you need to grow your intellectual capital, you need to grow your social capital, and then you need to intersect the two. And guess what? When you do that, more money will be sitting on the table for you. People will be banging on your door to give you money. So you've kept the two worlds separate. Okay? Your financial capital grows at the intersection of your intellectual capital and social capital. When the right people know that you know a lot about a subject or can execute a skill that solves a problem they have, that's when financial opportunities flow. The reason I get paid for what I do today is because the right people, my social capital in real life and on social media, know that I know a lot about mastering money, manifestation, and multifamily real estate, my intellectual capital. And when those two things intersect, financial opportunities emerge. Period. It's that simple. I've literally just made making money simple for you. Even if you know a lot about something and only one person, right? Even if only one person who needs it knows that you know, guess what? Financial opportunity will emerge for you. And now you see that one person knowing that I know a lot about something that they needed, if I can now reach 10 people or 100 people or 1,000 people or 10,000 people, guess what? More financial opportunities will emerge for you. This is money making in its simplest form. This is making money in its simplest form. Okay? So, making money, we're on page 258. And yes, please like this video. We have 361 people on YouTube and only 188 likes at this moment. If you could please take this little finger right here. All I'm asking you to do, take this little finger right here and go click. Click that like or that share button right now. Same thing on Instagram. This is the only way that we beat the algorithms, right? This is how we keep growing the community. You know that we didn't start with 600 people. This community has continued to grow because of your consistency in showing up and because of your willingness to share, because this has been so valuable to you. So if you please take a moment and just like and share this video. Thank you to everyone who the leaders in the chat who always remind people to do that. All right. It's the simplest way to repay me without money for showing up. And you're not even repaying me, you're just spreading this consciousness. It's not even about repaying me. It's really about spreading this consciousness. So please do that. All right. So making money is not complex. Listen to this. Y'all ready for the formula to making money? Making money is not complex. Master something, one, and market it. Making money is not complex. Master something and market it. That's it. Close the book. We're done. Master something and market it. Just type that. It's not complex, family. Master something and market it. Period. Master something and market it. Step one, master something. Step two, market it. That's it. That's wealth building in a nutshell. Master something and market it. You thought it was this confusing thing. Oh, I need to go master these stock market tickers and this and that and that and this. Master something and market it. That's it, family. That's how wealth is created. That is how wealth is created. I'm sorry. It don't get more simple than that. And it don't get more complex than that. Master something and market it. Period. Okay? The problem is that you might have a whole bunch of degrees, but you haven't mastered anything. You know what I like to say? Some of y'all got more degrees than juvenile. Some of y'all got more degrees than juvenile and ain't mastered a damn thing. How many degrees did juvenile have, y'all? Let's see who got it. How many degrees did juvenile have? Who got the joke? Juvenile got 400 degrees. You see me, I eat, sleep, and talk rap. Don't even go there, Woody. Some of y'all got more degrees than juvenile. Now you got the student debt to show for it. Still haven't mastered anything though. Got master's degrees and ain't mastered anything. All right. So we on page 258. We're gonna climb our way out of that debt, family. Okay. Debt is just a reflection of lack of understanding of money and some old mistakes from the old you, the financially immature you. Jerome Jameson said, "Who's that? You don't know who Juvenile is?" Man, I'm gonna have to play back that thing up. You'll know it if I play that song, you'll know who Juvenile is. All right, cool. Many people put their head in the sand and try to get good at a subject or skill, but then they don't do the personal branding work necessary to let people know that they have mastered that certain skill or subject that is valuable to them. Listen to this. Out of their sight, out of their mind. Out of their mind, out of their money. Most of you have some sort of skill set that your company is paying you for and maybe paying you a pretty penny for. But listen, if nobody else knows that you have that skill set, out of their sight, right? Out of their sight means that it's out of their mind. And when it's out of their mind, means that you are out of their money. They don't know that you know. They don't know that you know. And therefore, you aren't getting paid for the skill set that you do have. I'm going to say that again. Out of their sight, they don't see you. They don't know that you know. Therefore, you're out of their mind. And when you're out of their mind, you're also out of their money. I'm not even going to hold you. By showing up, this was not my intention. This was not my intention. This was just me moving in alignment with spirit, right? You think I've gotten paid by showing up here, y'all? You think my book sales have gone up because I showed up? Because I'm in your mind. I'm in your sight. Therefore, I'm in your mind. And when I'm in your mind, guess what? Some people, a fraction, small fraction of people choose to buy the book. And guess what? Now I have their money. Now, I put this money back into the cycle to grow it, to expand this movement. I don't just put this money in my pocket. I don't take it out. I don't put it in my pocket and now you see me shopping this and that. I don't have any designer clothes. I don't have any $300,000 car. I don't have a mansion. Don't desire any of those things because I circulate the money. I don't put it in my pocket and take it out of the economy. I circulate it back. But do you think what I'm saying is that me showing up here, being in sight and in your mind, you think that has led to more money for me? You think that has created more abundance for me? Book sales have gone through the roof. Book sales have gone through the roof. Back to the same energy that I had when I launched the book. That is what has occurred here over 2 months. Again, I'm letting you know that was not my intention. Money is not my goal. Money is not my goal. Bringing heaven on earth, the greatest good that I can see for myself and others on earth, that is the goal. But a byproduct of that, guess what? Has been more money because I'm in your sight. Therefore, I'm in your mind. Therefore, guess what? Some people, a fraction of you, have decided to buy more copies of the book. That's it. That's it. So enough people don't know about you. If the people you are meant to serve if the people we are meant to serve don't think about us when the problem we can help them solve arises, then we never get a return of stored energy or money for the 10,000 hours worth of energy we put into mastering that skill or subject. Many folks are waiting to be discovered. Okay. Oh, I'm a musician and I'm waiting to be discovered. I want L.A. Reid to discover me. I want to be on one of those shows. Hoping that someone sees their talent, jump out at them off of a flat resume, website profile, or telepathically. When we are great at something, sometimes we hide our brilliance. Here's why. Here's the psychology. When we are great at something, sometimes we hide our brilliance because we don't want to be perceived as arrogant or nerdy. We don't want to be perceived as arrogant or nerdy. Hiding your nerdiness may have benefited you on the social scene in high school or college so that you could fit in. But hiding your brilliance in the real world as an adult will hurt you financially. This is the psychology, family. When we are great at something, sometimes we hide our brilliance because we don't want to be perceived as arrogant or nerdy. Hiding your nerdiness may have benefited you on the social scene in high school or college so that you could fit in. But hiding your brilliance in the real world as an adult will only hurt you financially. I didn't want people to know my GPA in high school because I believed that they would perceive me as a nerd. So I didn't really share my grades. People knew that I was smart, but I didn't share my grades because what? I wanted to fit in. So I had to kind of hide my brilliance. I had to kind of dumb down at the lunch table, right? And that may have served me again in the social scene in high school and college. But when it comes to the real world, it only ends up hurting you. Hiding your brilliance hurts you. Okay. You want as many people as possible to know how great you are without being boastful. You want as many people as possible to know how great you are with without being so boastful. Don't exaggerate with words from the thesaurus. Allow your results to speak for themselves. Constantly collect artifacts and evidence of your success and share them publicly through LinkedIn, social media, email blasts, and press releases, and you will begin to attract more money into your life. You see, there's a lot of I need to put down the book, y'all. There's a lot of people teaching things online, and they're making more money off of you than they make for you. People with these online courses, I have nothing against online courses. I have several online courses. But when that person is making more money off of you than they make for you, I have an issue with that. That's on some University of Phoenix-ish. Oh, we're going to sell this higher education and give people a flat piece of paper with no skill set. There's a lot of people out here making more money off of you than they're making for you. But when you go to my Instagram page, what do you see? You see results. You see images of over 400 people closing on multifamily real estate. You should have seen graduation at Generational Wealth Conference. I don't care about how many students I have. The only number that matters to me is how many I've helped get to the closing table. So before you buy another online course, family, you need to ask for results. You don't want to look at that person's lifestyle. You want to look at how many lives they've changed. Stop looking at their car, their clothes, their trips. Stop looking at their lifestyle. Instead, look for how many lives they've actually changed. That's all that matters. That will let you know. Look at their fruits. Look at their fruits. That's your criteria to make sure you don't get burned in online education. Okay? I believe in online education, but to be honest, the people that I brought up on stage at Generational Wealth Conference, they have results. These other people out here, I don't see too many results. You selling something for $30,000, how many people have made $30,000 through your program? How many people have you gotten a return on their investment? I got 400 plus over here. I could show you right now. We could go pull up right now and I could show you. But some of you just are so caught up in the lifestyle that they're projecting, right? They call it lifestyle marketing. They present their lifestyle to you, and you're like, I want that lifestyle. So I think that this is the way to get that lifestyle. No, ask for their freaking results. Some of you would miss out on the multifamily movement. Why? Because I don't have a Porsche or a Lamborghini. Because I don't have a mansion. Because I don't wear designer clothes. In fact, I like clothes with no branding on it at all. And some of you would have looked at me in your old version of yourself and be like, oh, he must not really be getting it. But if I showed you my balance sheet right now, you'd be like, oh, yeah, he got it. But that's for me. I don't need to show you. I show my students results. So I'm just saying that in connection with what we're talking about is the reason more money flows to me is because I am collecting artifacts and evidence of not only my personal success, but more importantly, the success that I've been able to create for other people. You want to be successful? Help make other people successful, period. If you make enough people successful, guess what? Success will be yours. You want to be a millionaire? Help other people become millionaires. It sounds counterintuitive. How do I do that? How do I help other people become millionaires if I'm not a millionaire? I've coached people. I've coached people. Actually, this is later on in the book, so I'm not even going to go into that. Okay. Let's continue on page 259. Second paragraph. Okay. Imagine that you are looking for a new job opportunity to create more financial capital in your life. The interview process is all about building a relationship with the hiring manager, interviewers, and the company, and then convincing them that you are the most knowledgeable and skillful at solving the problem the job is meant to address. Anyone who has strong social capital and knows people in their target company has an advantage because referrals are among the top ways people get jobs. Also, those who can demonstrate their intellectual capital through past performance or artifacts and evidence of success will have an advantage in the hiring process because they are showing their value, not just telling about it. Remember when we were children and you had to bring a toy to school, right? What was the name of that day? What was the name of that day? It was show and tell. But some of you are looking for jobs and trying to communicate your value by telling without showing. Imagine that you came to show and tell day. You were supposed to bring your fire truck, but you left it in the car. And now it's your turn to present. All the kids sitting on the carpet waiting for you, right? And you're like, man, I forgot my fire truck, but let me tell you about my fire truck. My fire truck is about this long and it's red as a cherry and the ladder goes up this high. They'd be like, get off the stage. You're supposed to show and then tell about your fire truck. You forgot the fire truck. So, what I'm saying to you all is I need you to look at your past performance and any artifacts and evidence of your success, anything that you're proud of, I need you to start collecting that. This is not about a resume. Okay. This is more about a portfolio of your best work. And if you show your work, because when you show something, it can't be unseen. When you tell me about it, I gotta kind of believe you. I don't know if he or she is telling the truth. People be lying on their resume all the time. People be lying in interviews all the time. But this person, they came in and they actually showed me something. Now there's no doubt in my mind because I'm being shown. So I need all of you to excavate, like archaeologists, I need you to excavate your past and say, where are the greatest pieces of work that I did? How can I show that to somebody? Right? And I guarantee that will lead you to more results financially, whether that's a pay increase or a new job. Okay? We're on page 259. From an entrepreneurial perspective, imagine that you found the cure for cancer. Would you hide and hope that those with cancer found you? No. You would shout from the mountaintop so that everyone you could cure could find you. As an entrepreneur, you are the cure to someone's cancer. In addition to physical cancer, people have financial cancer, mental cancer, emotional cancer, social cancer, professional cancer, spiritual cancers that prevent them from experiencing heaven on earth. Oftentimes, these other forms of cancer create so much stress and unease in their lives that they manifest as physical cancer in the body or other diseases. Say, I am the cure to somebody's cancer. Type that. I am the cure to someone's cancer. I am the cure to someone's cancer. I need you to type that. I am the cure to someone's cancer. I am the cure to someone's cancer. Now, the question is, are you going to show up? You found the cure. You are the cure. How are you going to find them? The first step is finding the cure, okay? Master something. Then number two, that most people skip, is market it. They think, oh, I just got the cure to cancer. I'm just going to sit here with the cure to cancer, and I just hope that those who have cancer find me. I hope that they find me someday. I'm just going to sit here because I'm shy. I don't want to be on Instagram. I don't want to get on video, and I don't want to write anything, and I don't want to promote myself. I don't want to be boastful that I found the cure. So I'm just going to kind of just hide out over here and hope that those who have cancer find me. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. That's how some of y'all are moving right now. You have the cure to somebody's problem and they are looking for you, but they can't find you because you're hiding behind your ego, behind your shyness. Once I realized how much my shyness was costing me and I released it, knowing that there are people out here that I was meant to serve, that's when the financial floodgates opened for me. Oh, Jullien, I'm an introvert though. Okay, so you're gonna let your introversion stop you from curing people's cancer. You're gonna let your introversion stop you from curing people's cancer. You're gonna just let them suffer in cancer, whatever type of cancer they have. You're gonna let them suffer just because you're an introvert. You sit with that. There's literally 100,000 people out there that need what you have, but you're gonna let your introversion allow them to stay in suffering. I'm shy. I don't like social media. Okay. I guess you like people suffering. People who are waiting on you, your purpose, for you to show up. I guess you like allowing people to suffer. It's your suffering of showing up or all of their suffering. That's kind of selfish to me, honestly. When you really think about it, that's kind of selfish. That's kind of selfish. I could get out of my own way and help a lot of people, or I could stay in my own little box and let those people suffer. That's kind of selfish. You were given a gift. You were blessed with some sort of gift, talent, strength, skill, or subject mastery, and you just want to withhold it from the world. Not only you're withholding it from them and they are suffering, but you're also blocking your own blessing. You're blocking your own abundance from flowing to you because you won't show up. That's kind of selfish, just to be honest with you. I don't care how much you want to identify. I am an introvert. Keep affirming that and watch your bank account stay exactly where it's at. Yeah, that's right. My shyness is costing me. Go ahead and type that. My shyness is costing me, or my introversion is costing me. My ego is costing me. My perfectionism is costing me. Whichever one it is for you, type that. My introversion, my shyness, my ego, my perfectionism is costing me. Just type that because I want you to know it's you. I need you to know that it's you because if you know that it's you, then you know that you can solve it. What is it for you? Is it shyness? I see shyness. I see introversion. Some of you are perfectionists. This is why you're not showing up. Some of you is just your ego. You care too much about what other people think. My pride. So when it comes down to it, is you are costing you, family. Some of you are musicians and you have amazing songs on your hard drive right now, but you haven't put them out there to the world. You didn't create no video. You didn't even create a word video. It's just sitting on your hard drive. And you know what? You know what God does, family? When you don't share, that's when your hard drive crashes. And you want to get up in tears. You didn't have it backed up. It was molding on your hard drive. So God takes that inspiration and gives that inspiration to somebody else who's going to use it. You've already had your $1 million idea. The question is, have you actually nurtured it? And if you don't nurture it, then God gives it to somebody else. And then what happens is you say, oh, they stole my idea. No, they didn't steal your idea. You didn't act on your idea. Nobody stole your idea, family. You had that idea 10 years ago and you didn't move on it. And so now they're moving on it because you didn't. Nobody stole your idea. Spirit gave it to you first. You didn't act on it. And Spirit said, I need this idea to come into full form, full term and this person's not doing it, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to give it to somebody else who's going to act on it. They had their opportunity, they didn't move on it. Now I'm going to pass it on. Nobody stole your idea. Stop that. Stop. Some of you had Uber, an idea for Uber long ago. Didn't act on it. Some of you, you see your idea. You know what? Some of you see your idea on Shark Tank. Oh, that was my idea. Remember when I told you that 3 years ago? Yeah, but why is she on Shark Tank right now and you sitting right here next to me on the couch watching Shark Tank? Yep. What did LeBron James say? I'm going to take my talents to South Beach. Got to be like, okay, I'm going to take my talents. Remember the parable of the talents? I'm going to take my talents and give it to somebody who's going to multiply it. LeBron James said, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach. When he left the Cleveland Cavaliers to go to the Miami Heat, got to be like, oh man, they ain't acting on it over here. So I'm going to take my talents and I'm going to give it to somebody who's going to multiply it. I gave you 2 years. I gave you a 2-year head start with it. And I need this. My people need, my children need this idea to come to full term. And you aren't willing to nurture it. So I'm going to give it to this person over here. This is exactly how it happens, family. The energy moves. When you're stagnant with something, the energy moves. Man, we already at 9:20. All right, let me keep pushing. From an entrepreneurial perspective, imagine that you found the cure for cancer. Would you? No. Oftentimes, no. Okay, here we are. You must find a problem you are passionate about solving. You must find a problem you are passionate about solving, create a solution, not just a surface level solution, a solution, one that it hits in the soul, right? So everybody type soul, SOUL hyphen Ution. Type SOUL hyphen UTION. So when I teach multifamily real estate, I don't just teach it at the material level of real estate. I teach that the most important form of real estate is actually here, your mental real estate. I'm teaching at the cellular level, not just the conscious level. I know that it's not the A to Z how to that actually gets people to the finish line. The greatest blockage in people is their mentality around how they think about money and how they think about real estate. So I know I need to crack that code first. And once that code is cracked, then their ability to manifest in the physical realm becomes easier. So when you create a solution, you don't want to create a surface level solution. Because I could give some of you the multifamily master plan for free right now, and you would not be able to execute on it because the information in of itself is not what gets you there, right? Otherwise, YouTube University would have everybody being millionaires. There's so many videos on how to become a millionaire, but yet there aren't that many. Most people aren't becoming millionaires. Why? Because they're just surface level solutions. They're not solutions. So you must find a problem you are passionate about solving, create a solution, and do whatever it takes to get it to all the people who you are called to serve. Your wealth, your wealth will be proportional to the size of the problems you solve for others with your skill mastery, subject mastery, and systems. You want to know why you're not wealthy, family? Because you're not solving big enough problems. The reason Bill Gates is so wealthy is because he solved a big problem. The reason Jeff Bezos is so wealthy is because he solved a big problem. How do I get people the things that they desire in one day or less? The reason Elon Musk is so wealthy is because he's solving 3 big problems, right? How do we get off of fossil fuels, right? With Tesla, right? Then Solar City. How do we harness the power of the sun? And then with SpaceX, if we fail at those and this ecosystem erodes, how do we get the hell out of here? He's solving 3 of the world's biggest problems right now. So guess what? Guess what happened to his wealth? His wealth is proportional to the size of the problems that he solves. Now, I'm not asking you all to solve some global problem. I'm just letting you know that the reason those people are wealthy is not because they are white men. See, this is where some of y'all got it messed up. Oh, they're white men. They had all kinds of privileges and that. That's cool. But there's other white men with privilege who aren't solving the size of problems that they're solving. You know how much selflessness has to occur for you to commit your life to solving a problem of that magnitude? You know how many white nights they were not able to spend with their family? Elon Musk sleeping at the factory? These are some of the sacrifices that these particular men had to make. Jeff Bezos, you see the picture of him working out of, I think, his parents' garage. His business school classmates probably living in lofts in New York City. He was, I think, in his parents' garage. Steve Jobs working out of the garage. It's not because they were white men, privileged white men. Steve Jobs was a foster youth. These were sacrifices. You sacrifice when you commit to solving a problem that is global or even national. There are costs to that. And those men should be rewarded for their sacrifice if they've actually solved the problem. But you don't see that part. It's not because they were privileged white men. I just need you to erase that. Oh man, yeah, they're white men have it easy. I need you to erase that from your mind. That is not the reason they created the wealth that they created. It is not. Because then every white privileged man who was their classmates in school, etc., then they should have equal wealth. Shouldn't they? If that is the logic that you have, then every privileged white man should have the equal wealth to Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates. And that is not the case. So erase this idea out of your head that it's because of their race and their gender and their class. That has nothing to do with it. It was their long-term desire and commitment to solving a problem that impacted many people. That's it. That is it. People are suffering and waiting on you to show up with a solution to their problem. When you think about your financial capital as the intersection of your intellectual and social capital, it empowers you because you are in full control of how your intellectual and social capitals grow. Financial capital comes in the form of cash, contracts, credit, which is access to capital, partnerships, job opportunities, investment opportunities, and entrepreneur opportunities with equity. The more people who know that you know what you know will surely bring more money your way. Okay? We got 2 more pages. I know we are running a little bit long today. I've been in preaching mode. I try not to preach, y'all. But when spirit moves, spirit moves. All right. This is why actually I know that us rereading this is going to be powerful because I'm always in a different place in my life and in my connection to source when I'm reading it. So if I read this same thing to you tomorrow, these ad libs, they would be different. These ad libs would be different if I read the same thing to you tomorrow. So when we come back to this and we reread, when we read this chapter again, I'm going to add different things based on my life experiences. And so every reading of this, though we're reading the same words, it's only going to get richer and richer and richer. So this is a beautiful thing. Okay. I mean, we listen to songs over and over and over again. How many of you ever had a song, you listened to a song, it was from high school, and then you heard it as an adult and you was like, that was the lyric? You know, I just did an Instagram post on all the songs from the 90s that were about cheating, right? And what was it, Kelly Price, As We Lay or something like that? People like, I didn't realize that that was about cheating. Like we just teenagers or whatnot, we just singing these songs and not realizing that subconsciously we're programming our minds to like, they making cheating sound good. They making cheating sound good, but then you actually hear it, he's like, that's what they said, right? So I'm saying that to say that you can hear something over and over and over again, but you can get something new from it each time, right? Cool. Human capital. And we're on page 260, y'all. Human capital is who works for you. This is the next level of understanding. This is the next level of manifestation when you're able to get other people to believe in your vision. Human capital. Okay. Oh, Phyllis Hyman. Sorry. Or Shirley Murdoch, whoever it is. I don't know. All right, cool. The next form of capital you have access to is human capital, which is simply people. Human capital is who works for you or with you. When someone works for you, similar to social capital, you get access to their personal, intellectual, and social capital in exchange for paying them with financial capital. With human capital, you have someone's time and mind because you pay them for it, whereas with social capital, you don't. Buying other people's time and talent is perhaps the most powerful way to expand anything you are doing. In fact, buying other people's time gives you your time back. You can expand your human capital through hiring employees, outsourcing work to consultants and contractors, and attracting interns and volunteers. Okay? So now other people are buying into your vision. In my eyes, human beings are the greatest form of capital there is. Every day, the company's greatest assets walk out of the building. See, when the CEO thinks that their technology, their algorithm, their machine, their product is the asset, that's where they're mistaken. It's actually the people who bring that thing to market that are actually the asset. Unfortunately, big companies have undervalued their people, and the people have overvalued the loyalty of the company. A great team is often more valuable than a great idea by itself. Great people are not easily replaceable, but the perception is that they are. This is why human capital doesn't show up on the balance sheet of a company. However, we know that Amazon is more valuable with Jeff Bezos there than it would be if he were not there. Every franchise from McDonald's to Planet Fitness to Great Clips could only scale through people who think like leaders, entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs. So do you realize that human beings do not show up on a company's balance sheet? Yet they are the most valuable thing in the company. How crazy is that? My team, the team behind the multifamily movement, the team that you don't see, I could not do this without them. They are actually the most valuable thing on my balance sheet. Actually, you don't put people on the balance sheet. That's what's so weird. But a team, the Chicago Bulls lose Michael Jordan in a, guess what? They have a lower chance of succeeding. So it's actually the human beings that are the most valuable thing on the balance sheet. But some bigger entities think that human beings are replaceable, right? And therefore don't value them. It is important to surround yourself with people who complement your strengths and compensate for your weaknesses. To duplicate your income, you must find ways to duplicate yourself. To duplicate your income, you must find ways to duplicate yourself. Letting go of the reins and empowering other people with your vision is one of the most powerful ways to manifest and multiply. Other people believing in and working towards your vision reinforces it. Most startups fail because of the leader's inability to get other people to see and believe in the vision. Lastly, number 6, physical capital. What tools you have. Your physical capital includes any tools and technologies that are assisting you in manifesting what you desire. This includes property, like a studio if you're a musician, event venue, warehouse, walk-in store, farm, plant, land, etc. Equipment, printing press, screen printing machine, bottling machine, computer, right? Vehicles, trucks, cars, bus, boat, etc. Electronics, computers, cameras, cell phones, mixer, software, Pro Tools, QuickBooks, ClickFunnels, raw materials, aluminum, cotton, chickens, apples, and more. These are all forms of physical capital. Okay? Anything you can expense or depreciate from an accounting perspective is advancing your business. Because it is advancing your business is considered physical capital. Physical capital helps you make what you make or manage the process of making what you make. You have everything you need within you and around you to get to the next step of what you are seeking to create or where you are seeking to go. As an asset alchemist, the fun part is piecing the puzzle together by combining the different capitals you have to create assets that are greater than the sum of the parts. Wealth isn't just money. It is all of the energetic currencies, including your personal, intellectual, social, financial, human, and physical capitals. Capital doesn't become currency until it is put into motion by a conductor, which is you. Capital doesn't become currency until it is put into motion by a conductor, which is you. Okay? You get to take these assets within you and around you to manifest whatever you desire for yourself and for others. 2 types of manifestation, y'all. Self directed manifestation is when you recognize that everything you need to have something you want is already within you and around you. That's self-directed manifestation. Okay. Sale-directed manifestation is when you use your capital to add value to someone else's life, and in exchange, they give you money, which allows you to get what you want. I'm going to repeat that. These are two forms of manifestation. Okay. The one that is taught in The Secret is self-directed. What I'm teaching you is sale-directed. Okay. I'm going to show you. Self-directed manifestation is when you recognize that everything you need to have something you want is already within and around you. Okay. Sale-directed manifestation is when we go outside of ourselves, is when you use your capital to add value to someone else's life, and in exchange, they give you money, which then allows you to get what you want. Okay. You are like yeast to their life. Okay. By adding some of what you have to their life, you cause an area or aspect of their life to expand, and you are rewarded accordingly. You can capitalize on your capitals when you use them in service to others. You are like yeast. You know, when you add yeast to dough, it does what? It causes the dough to expand. So you are like yeast to somebody's life. There is somebody who is deficient in some area of their life. They may be deficient in money. Okay. I'm yeast. I'm giving you a little substance here that will cause money to expand in your life. Some people are deficient in love, and that's what they're seeking. Some people are deficient in health. Some people are deficient in happiness. And you can take this little ingredient that you have, right? And you can put it into their life, and you can cause that aspect or area of their life to expand. Now they have more health. They have more love. They have more happiness. They have more money. They have more time. Okay. We are trying to identify where we can be yeast to somebody. So I'll give you an example. I coached somebody who was worth 8 figures before, but when I coached them, I did not have 7 figures yet. How could me, who wasn't even a millionaire yet, be coaching somebody who was worth over $10 million? Because I had an ingredient in terms of mindset and thinking that when I added it to their $10 million plus in net worth, caused it to expand. I didn't have to be I didn't have to have 8 figures net worth to help somebody with 8 figures in net worth. But I knew that the ingredient that I had, if they added it into their company, would cause their net worth to expand. So I'm pretty sure it's in the book, but I'll just give it to you now in short form. There's 3 ways to help people. Okay. The first way is you could be the veteran. The veteran is saying, look, I've already been there before. I've already become a millionaire. Let me show you how to become a millionaire. Right. And a lot of people like to follow veterans. Right. But the problem with the veteran is that the veteran may have done it 10 years earlier or 20 years earlier. And so what worked for them may not work for you. Okay. So that's the veteran. I have 40 doors in terms of my multifamily portfolio. Let me show you how to get there. And some people like following veterans. The next type of way to help somebody is saying, I'm going to be the learning leader. I don't have this figured out, but I'm willing to experiment. I'm willing to be the guinea pig, and I'm going to bring you on this journey, and you can learn from my mistakes and from my successes. Okay. That's actually the one with the most humility and the most humble. You're not positioning yourself as the expert. You're just saying, I'm willing to go experiment with all these things and bring back the results to you and hope that they bless you. Okay. The third way is actually yeast. You're saying, I don't have what you have. Okay. I don't have 8-figure net worth. In fact, my net worth might be less than 7 figures at this moment in time. But I know that this little ingredient that I have, right? This little process, this solution that I have, if we just put a little bit of that into your life, it'll cause what you're doing to expand. It's causing what I'm doing to expand at this level. And one day I will expand to where you are. But right now, if we just add this right now to what you're doing, you'll see more expansion, right? So you don't always have to position yourself as the expert or have done what other people want. You just need to be very clear about where you can be yeast in somebody's life, okay? Or an organization's life, an individual or an organization, okay? So we went long today. but it felt good. I feel good. I feel like those are the messages that were meant to come through today. And so I'm in gratitude. I'm in gratitude for you still being here, and listening. I don't know what y'all be doing. What y'all be doing? Y'all dropping off? Can y'all tell me what y'all be doing? Are y'all dropping off your kids? Y'all in the shower getting ready? Y'all eating breakfast? You at work right now? What y'all be doing at 8:30? I need to know. What y'all be doing at 8:30 a.m.? You driving? Okay, working from home. I'm at work. I'm on a call right now. What y'all be doing? I'm on maternity leave. I'm editing photos. I'm eating breakfast. Okay, I'm trying to picture what y'all be doing. You listening to me in the background? You locked in on the screen? Like, what y'all be doing at 8:30? And what were you doing at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time before we started? Some of you on the exercise bike, running errands. Okay, I'm getting a clear picture of what everybody's doing now. All right, getting ready for work. Beautiful. All right, so we'll be back here tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll be on page 263, and we'll be going over the chapter Give Cash Consciousness. Give Cash Consciousness. So stay tuned for that. Again, set a phone alarm, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every weekday we are here. If you haven't got a copy of the book, you can go to moneyandmanifestation.com. Again, that's moneyandmanifestation.com. And you get 5 copies for the price of one. You get 5 copies of the book. 1 is for you, 4 is for you to give away to other people. This will stimulate your personal economy. As you give, so you shall receive. In order to receive more, you have to give more. So we are creating our own economy. Then you get the rituals workbook, and you also get the audio book. For those of you who are in a state of temporary lack right now, you don't have $100. Okay. What you can do is you can go to the Facebook group and you can look for posts where people are actively seeking to give away their extra copies of their books, right? And it's facebook.com/groups/rich and righteous. I will admit you all in there in about 5 minutes. So that's facebook.com/groups/rich and righteous. And they're literally people who got 5 copies of the book and they're actively looking to somebody. But again, we do not ask from a place of neediness. Oh, I'm a victim. This happened to me. I got evicted. My mama did this. This happened. Then my account got locked. We don't need all that. We're asking from a place of genuine need. And what that means is that I'm asking from a genuine place of need. I don't have $100 to buy a book for myself and others right now. But I would be blessed if someone would actually mail me a extra copy of that they have. I'm happy to pay $10 shipping. I'll cash app you. This is all I have. I'll cash app you. Okay. Not only will I do that, once I receive it, I will actually read it. I will use the book. And once my life starts to reflect the abundance that I know is my birthright, then what I will do is I will buy the book for $100 and I will bless other people. I will pay it forward. That's from a place of genuine need. That's the energy that you want to ask from. Not only asking in this situation, but also that's the energy you want to ask from God from. We talked about prayer. We never want stop praying on your knees, family. Stop praying. Oh God, please help me. Stop praying on your knees. You're praying from a place of weakness. You don't have to. When you needed food from your mother or your father, did you have to go beg them? Oh, mom, dad, can you please feed me? Oh, please feed me. I'm so hungry. Can you? No. Is that how you ask for food from your mother and your father? As above, so below. Is that how you ask for food from your mother and father? Did you have to get on your knees and beg them, can you please give me some food? I'm just so hungry. I haven't eaten since school lunch. No. Hey, mom. Hey, dad. I'm hungry. It's dinner. What are we having for dinner? Mother, Father, God knows your needs. It would not create you and then not give you everything you need to navigate this experience. Stop praying on your knees. Stop praying from a place of victim consciousness. I don't know who taught us that. Probably the slave masters. Who taught us to pray like that? From a place of weakness. All right. Yeah, church, religion. All right. Salute. See you tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Love y'all. Again, the Facebook group is facebook.com/groups/rich and righteous. So for Instagram, just remember the ending rich and righteous. And it's called Rich and Righteous Reading Group or Study Group. Rich and Righteous Study Group. All right. Love y'all. See you tomorrow. Peace.